All right, I'll take some questions here. I see Scott raised his hand. Maybe you have a question, Scott.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of connect these three layers to early on you shared a slide in your book that had the like 8 or 10 circles of
Yes,
different kinds of kind of channels by which your narrative will be disseminated for alignment and mobilization.
yes.
So within each quadrant for the three layers, are you trying to determine then how does like the website
Uh-huh.
realize messaging practices? Like, is that, I'm just trying to draw the linkage because
Yep.
I'm assuming that there's a connection there.
There is a connection, absolutely, Scott. So I picked, first of all, to answer your question, I picked these as 10 most common random examples, right? I just,
Yeah.
from my experience, there are literally thousands of them.
Oh, I can totally understand. I'm just trying to draw the
Okay.
connection and understand it.
Yeah, and so I have another diagram in my book on page 56. Most people resonate very strongly with this one because you see how I position, for instance, I'm going to talk about mission vision here, for instance. It's a very external and collective asset that you literally shape, you craft, and then that becomes hopefully an expression or an illustration of the way people behave within and outside the company, and ultimately something that becomes second nature. Does this make more sense?
Yeah, that was the piece that I was missing, which is that different channels are aligned to different kind of focus quadrants of the frame. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. One of the exercises I do sometime with teams is that I bring this model on a large board. And some of you may know that I like to bring in large board and do big drawings when I work in person. I do that. I bring this very large board and I give everybody Post-its. And what I do is that I show the quadrant, I show the canvas here, and together we go through the exercise of mapping out, okay, what are the pieces here that we have in this company that are about community, customer, team, or yourself, and which ones are still at the stage of they're still just messages, they're just ideas, they're just things we say, and they're not, and it's not because we say them that they are valid or they exist, but we have them in mind, and maybe we have like a book about them, we've documented them, and which ones are really now projects happening, for instance, practices that we have changed, and which ones are now where they're kind of taken for granted. We've integrated them. They take less effort to do, and they really make sense, and they really help us be more transformative. So
Guillaume, just to make sure that I'm understanding this then, is within these three layers, are those layers almost like levels of maturity of
they could be.
Because, you know, I'm at this stage, it's just messages. Now some of them are evolving into practices, and then some have been institutionalized as habits. I just want to make sure I'm translating it.
You are translating it even better than me. I love the word institutionalized, and I should use that more often. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. So there is a level of there is a level of maturity here. Here is an example of what I meant by this. Actually, I used this exact presentation to map it out. So this is an example for a company, but literally we use this canvas and we say, okay, our blog, for instance, our blog on our website. Can you see this clearly? Is that better now? Yeah. Okay. Our blog used to be an idea, and now we're building it. We're putting it into practice. We're reaching out to our community. We are communicating. We're sharing our content. We're getting feedback and comment, but still, it's something we're still kind of trying to figure out. We're a little inconsistent. We're not quite sure who's going to do it next month yet. It's still wobbly. We're testing it, but we're finding that it's bringing something interesting, something good, until we institutionalize it and it becomes like what, for instance, what we're known for. So a great example is Patagonia. Patagonia has used their blogs forever to practice transparency with their community. They post who they work with, the practices that they, which suppliers they work with, and so on. They've done such a great work at building this dimension here with this community through blogging. And I noticed, I don't know for sure, but I noticed that sometimes just any employees can go on the blog and post things. It's very open. It's very transparent to that regard.